you just mentioned this Galileo controversy,
Hmm.
and I have recently found occasion to study some Newtonian matters, specifically, how he grounded his empiricism in light of David Hume and Immanuel Kant and things like that. But even prior to that, you mentioned here this matter of Galileo and the controversy. That's just such a fascinating topic. Um, but it really, I think it's an intersection of a lot of different things, and maybe you could again tease this out. Um, it's really more then it would have been considered more natural theology than science, right?
That's
And
right.
and so and but natural theology is really a philosophy.
That's exactly right.
So,
No,
so science
that's
is called
exactly right.
natural theology, but it's really just philosophy. So that's what these guys
Absolutely.
were doing. So could you maybe just describe that for just a moment, and then describe again this controversy going from Ptolemy to Copernicus, going from
Yeah.
the Earth's role versus uh, the sun's
Yeah. No,
central
it
role? Yeah,
serves as an object lesson in a lot of different ways. One of the things that I think it illustrates for us is the conclusion that sometimes our uh, misunderstanding of God's creation is corrected by a proper
right,
understanding of God's word. But
right.
sometimes our misunderstanding of God's word is corrected by a proper understanding of God's creation.
Wow.
And now, I'm not suggesting that's always easy to know, and it's certainly almost never painless to do, as evidenced by this whole saga with Galileo and such. Like, for example, um, it's a common myth today. This actually happened to me yesterday, I think, just in a conversation, standing around talking. It's a common myth, or I should say, it's a modern notion to think that when everything revolves around you, that you're saying I'm privileged. Well, you just think everything revolves around you. And we mean by that, well, you think the most important element of this assemblage of things, right? And so they all
Right.
revolve around you. That's a very modern understanding of being the center. We usually talk about the center of attention. Uh, uh, I began to discover when I was in doing some doctoral work that in the Middle Ages back, rightly or wrongly, but from there back, because of the philosophical assumptions they were working with, the center of the universe was the most ignoble place to be. It would be
Mm.
analogous to your shower drain.
Hmm.
Nobody would go, the drain of the shower is the cleanest part of the shower. You go,
Right,
probably
right,
not. It's probably the ceiling that never gets wet, way up above. That's probably the
right.
cleanest. And then this part here is where all the soap and hair and dirty water all go. And that was an ancient and medieval understanding of reality, that things tend towards the center
Right.
and the most material and coarse and these kinds of things. Because if you go out in the old Ptolemaic model, if you go out from the center, I would ask the audiences this: as you go out from the center in these various concentric spheres or rings, uh, what is at the outermost ring? And people sometimes scratch their head until usually somebody goes, "Well, the gods is exactly."
Yeah.
And the reason this matters was there still today you have secular scientists who are anti-Christian who will argue, well, the Christianity, first of all, has always been against the natural rise of the natural sciences. That's a myth. But the
Right.
second was one of the reasons that they're against it is we got displaced from the center of the universe.
Mm.
See, so their argument is, well, the
Right.
Christians believe that God made the earth to be the most important planet in the universe because that's where man is and we're in his image. And then when science discovers that we're actually not the center, we're the third rock from the sun, so it's the center, that kind of thing, then we're
Right.
like, how dare you? You've demoted us. And I go, that wouldn't be the reason that anybody would have gotten upset, because in the old model, that wouldn't have been a demotion. It would have been
Right.
a promotion because we
Right.
would have been moving towards the gods. And so right there, a knowledge of even the history of this debate undoes this common myth.
Right.
There's a great book, by the way, I'd commend to your viewers, called Galileo Goes to Jail and Other Myths About Science and Religion,
Right.
by Ronald Numbers.
Okay.
Numbers, it's just like numbers. He's edited the book because it's a compilation of articles from a number of historians of science. Just fascinating how many
Hmm.
things, this isn't even a Christian book. It's just like a history book showing you these common held myths about the relationship of science and religion, namely the fact that they're at odds.